What up, my friends? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whichever one applies to you. It's a good afternoon here for me. Just going ahead and putting up a video for everybody. Sorry about that. On the up and coming Undead Horde War, which a lot of people like to refer to as the Minion War. So we will take a look at a few things as far as like some options, some defensive strategies, and so on and so forth from there. So, so the one thing because of that, AKA Minion War, everybody's like, "Oh, I got to do something to adjust for minions," and so on and so forth, and blah 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 blah. So what we're going to talk about is basically um, three different ways to look at this. Um, we're going to talk about maximizing the minions. So in maximizing, we have those that are the boosters, oh, mainly the boosters, and those that also put minions on themselves. So there are those heroes that will add minions that will just help you along in the game as well. So, and then as far as countering the minions, you have a ton. You have the minion destroyers, the minion preventers, the minion bypassers, the minion disablers, and then the minion stealers slash replacers. So go ahead and we'll start with our minion destroyers. So what I've done is this is obviously it's not a one-stop shop. So I don't have pictures of the 4 stars, the epics, and the rares. I don't even have all of these heroes that I'm going to talk about, but these are ones that jump into the forefront of my mind. And again, knowing what your heroes and your roster do is the key to you being able to set up your own defense effectively, and or having me help you in private. We can do that as well. So like on Discord. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and look here at what the Undead Horde War is. Basically, every 5 turns, you can see there the war rule. Every 5 turns, you're going to get a minion that will be put on you and inherits 10% attack and 10% HP from the minion, from the owner. Okay, so we move on and we start looking at these heroes. Again, we're talking about first things first, the minion destroyers. So Galapago is one that comes to mind. I know I have it. Sarah has it. I don't know who else does, but rolls cross screen, destroys all minions, and does damage to the mega minions. So it won't. They obviously the Undead Horde doesn't give out mega minions, but you can have up to 3, and Galapago will take them all. So it's not like a scaled down thing where it only takes 1 off each. It'll take them all. So Galapago's a good one. Old school Grimble. He's another one, destroys all minions from all enemies. Again, it's not mega minions, so don't get confused on that. Then there's somebody like Ojima. Ojima destroys all minions from all enemies, and then also gives them that lovely little fiend, that bomb that blows up. So it's a good one to have. I know several of you have Ojima. It's not a bad one to have on your team. Then we move on to the minion preventers. Erebus here. She destroys all minions from the target, and then they can't make any more. It's farther down in her effective skills, but she's part of that the Sphinx or Styx family. I will go into the rosters here in a little bit and show you some more stuff about them. But Erebus again, Bara. Now, Bara, I know a lot of people have kind of came out in the old Valhalla stuff. So she does, these are her special skills. So summons a moth minion for the ally, the minion 20% and 20% attack for the caster. Each hit gives so on and so forth, okay? Those are the skills that she has. So it's again, it just helps out with the minions that are there, but she prevents them from getting any more put on them once that's on. So Eloise destroys all minions from all enemies, and if enemy has a minion, that will be immune to a new minion for 4 turns. So if they took one off, they can't get any more for 4 turns. However, if there's none on when she goes off, they can still get minions over the next 4 turns. So it's got to have one removed before it can prevent for the next 4. So, again, since we're talking about defensive setups right now, you don't know when it's going to go off, when it's going to be used. It's kind of hard to predict. I would recommend that more for the offensive side since you can control when it goes off. Anyway, we're going to move on to the bypassers. There's only a couple that I have on here. I know there's more, especially with all the newer heroes, but you just kind of got to, again, know what your specials are. But Uraeus does it bypass. You can see right there the second one, damage bypasses targets minions. So they're not going to be able to benefit from it and all that. And then all enemies who own a minion or a fiend receive sand damage. So it will also then put sand damage on them if they have a minion. So again, might be a better used on offense than defense because you can control it. So after 5 turns, send it off. Everybody's got their minion that they just picked up, the Undead Horde minion, and now this stays on them and says, here you go, here's some extra damage. The next one is Guan Yu. Now, this, I'm going to tell you, is one that bypasses it again, but you need to look into what all it does. On top of that, nearby enemies' defense and a further -3 increase for each minion owned by enemies for 3 turns over 70%. So this one actually stays on them and tears them up. So again, knowing what your heroes do. So that 3 Kingdom family is another one that we're going to look at just a little bit further. But again, it's somebody that could help you out with these kind of things. Minion disablers. This is their passive, y'all. So you're not going to see anything down in there. It's on the passive side. So I'll go into that more when I come back over to the roster. And then, by the way, these disablers are the Lunar Year family. That's Lunar, year. And we'll get into that again when we go back and look at the roster. Then you have other one, which are Minion Stealers. Right here, Silver Paw. You can see that one steals all minions or a Mega Minion from the target. So, depending on who it goes after. So, again, defensively, probably not that great. Offensively, super nice because, you can take whichever one you want. So if somebody has a Mega Minion that's caused you problems, take the Mega Minion. If somebody has a whole bunch of if they had 3 of the Undead Hordes, take them because it'll take them all. So again, it's only one target. So again, defense not so great. Offense good. Let's see, Gloozmer and Grovert from the Maw family are 2 really nice ones because they not only steal the minion or the Mega Minion, they replace it with a fiend. So it's a great thing. So again, if you have them, use them. Here's another one, Orcart, steals a minion or a Mega Minion. So they're these guys that are newer heroes and they're super awesome, but they steal it or take it away. And then you do have some of your old school. Jeff John is another one that does that, y'all. I think actually Jeff John jumped out of order on me. So yeah, there you go. Steals a minion from the target. But again, doesn't do anything with Mega Minions. So, but she's old school. All right, then you end up down here with our minion boosters. So this is the other side of it, to maximize the minions. So somebody like Frost, how you pronounce his name, summons a spirit minion for each ally, 18% HP, blah, 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 blah. You keep reading into the second bullet point, they can have up to 200% of the minion's original HP and attack. So a good thing, again, that they're just boosting the minions that are there. Our friend Freya does pretty much the same exact thing. boosts up the attacks from the other minions that are already there. And then Porcius is another one that can be a good one as well. I know a lot of you have Porcius or Forcius or whatever. It's PH, the PHORYCS. Anyhow, then you have this lovely little goblin that I know a bunch of you might have because it's very old. It's been in the game for a hot minute. But you can see right down there that it damage against minion and fiend summoners. So this is somebody that you would use for someone like that's building a team that has all these minion creators or fiend creators, whatever the case might be. You could use this one and it will do extra damage to them. So make sure that you understand where Penalite would be used, but it would be a good one for you to use. Okay, we will come back here to the pictures for a bonus in just a second, but you get rewarded for watching this whole video. All right, so come back over here, go to the roster. I was looking for something, that's why that's set up that way, unfortunately. All right, so now like you can do this a couple of different ways when you're trying to figure out who your heroes are. They're going to help you with this kind of a thing. You can leave it with the rarity on everybody. It's fine, especially when you're doing your attacks. But if you're trying to set up your defense, most of us are going to want legendary, unless we're trying to bring our point value down, which is fine. If you are good, then leave it like it was to begin with. And then go down here to the family. And we're going to start with the lunar family, the lunar year. You can see it right there. We're going to hit that, and then we're going to hit OK. Now, this shows me the ones that I have at this time. What we're going to be looking at on here is the passives. So most of the minion passives have that little bitty fox. Now, like you can see this one, it says the enemy minions cannot attack or use abilities. So they're not going to be able to do anything against you, right? So it's a passive, so they're good and strong against that happening. So make sure you're looking for that little bitty fox, because I'm going to show you a couple other families that have that, just so you can understand that that's what you're looking to deal with. Another family that I'm going to go ahead and change this off of legendary just so you can kind of see everybody is we're going to go to the Astral Dwarves. And I'm going to get rid of the lunar. We're going to hit OK. Now, the Astral Dwarves, almost all of them have something to do with the minions on how they interact with them. So I know, Jane, you have Homari, but you can see the very top one up there. It bypasses minions. So all damage done to this character, done by this character, bypasses minions and mega minions. So it's going to go right on by them, and they can't get in the way. So it's great usage in this type of war and or going against garrison guard and stuff like that. So it'll bypass them and do all the damage it's supposed to, which in this case, 600% damage to the target, which is nice and large. And it also, yes, does wither. So it gives them a negative 350 defense as well. So that little critter, again, it's got that little fox head, and it's got the plus and the whatever that arrow is there. So, but it's going to bypass it. So that's a good one. Anybody that does damage for that Astral Dwarf, that's the one it's going to have. You can see that one again. And then this passive here is superior resist negative minion effects. So anything that they try to come at you with will get that resistance as well. So again, good thing to know. Now, on the flip side of that, when you have somebody like Orker who is just a healer, his is different. Basically, it's this character is immune to incoming effects and damage from minions like the other one. And that's the only one he gets. He doesn't do that other bypass. But you can see he also destroys fiends on special. So if somebody's came in and put a fiend on him, they're gone. So that's a good thing. All right. So if somebody's looking to use one of those stealers like Gluzmer or Grovert there, who go in and take yours and replace it with a fiend, well, he gets rid of the fiend. So it's a good thing. All right. So we move on to the next family, which is going to be the Three Kingdoms. Now, it's I don't think it's even called Three Kingdoms in here. I think it's just called Kingdoms. Yeah, just called Kingdom, even though it's Three Kingdoms. But anyway, we're going to look. All right. So now here we're going in and we're going to look for the passives. You can see it again. Daishan has a passive down here that's unstoppable minions, immune to effects that remove me. So now they're not going to get taken away. All right? So this is a super good thing. And she also puts on another minion, a lackey minion, and it helps her and her neighbors, right? So we know that one. Xunling here, again, it's the unstoppable minions, again, brings on more minions. So it's not also another good one. We already looked at Guan Yu, Sun Quan. I know, John, you have Sun Quan. Same thing, unstoppable minions, and puts on minions. So not a bad thing. Let's see. Abby, I know you have Shang Fei. Shang Fei, you need his costume. So unfortunately, unless you get the costume, you're not going to get that unstoppable minion thing. So you noticed that the other ones that have it are all costume. That's the passive that comes along with costume. Because see, like Guan Yu doesn't have it, but he's directed directly at minions. So, because he bypasses them. So it has to have the costume in order to be that passive, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about who you're going to use within that family and what they do, okay? Important note. Costume must be there. Then the Styx family, I don't have many of these, y'all. Matter of fact, I probably told some of you guys to get rid of them just because they're not all that great. But unfortunately, they do have a purpose here. I don't know if any, I only have one, but you can see what it is. It's the enemy minions get weakened by 50%. So that's what they do. It just drops the power of the minions down. So it can be helpful. Again, know your heroes, know what's going on with them and things of that nature, okay? So that's the gist of it as far as like strategies go. Now, I said 3 when we began this. And that's because the third one I'm gonna hit you with right now. Now, we're talking about defensive strategies here, right? A good defense is a good defense, no matter what. So, no matter what war type or any of that kind of thing. So, somebody like Rome, you're constantly in the top half with defense. My defense is typically up there. Jane, Paul. There's a lot of us that have the ability to create some good defenses without even necessarily worrying about this stuff. So I'm going to tell you, if you've got a good, solid defense, don't worry about all this. Honestly, don't worry about it. Just keep going at it and let your defense play out. So I'm probably going to go with my straight up defense that I always use. So you shouldn't see any changes on my end. And I don't know how many changes I'm going to recommend to most of the people. There are some teams that need it because it'll help them out a little bit. But there are some that just it shouldn't matter, y'all. So this is one of those wars that really can go any way that it wants to, board dependent, all that kind of good jazz. But the Woodland Fawn family is another one that has fiend, deals right there. They drop that fiend down by giving it, making it blind. I'm pretty sure Jolly John does something to that effect as well. I know Rome has Jolly John on one of his teams. Not sure if it's going to use it on his defense, but again, it's from that Woodland Fawn family, and it does the same thing. So the accuracy is dropped. So again, know your heroes, know your families, know what you're wanting to get from them. But look for that little fiend, and that'll tell you if that's going to be something that you should or could look at to use. Um, Again, I'm not really going to worry about it a whole lot. I might use some different heroes when attacking, but we'll talk about that as we're playing through our rounds on Discord. But the main thing that I can tell you when looking at that is look at the team and that you're going to take on, and if that team took in some of those heroes that I talked to you about, that they're focusing on enhancing their minions and the minion usage, well then counter that. And so if they're taking in boosters, take in destroyers or preventers to attack them with it. So I mean that's kind of the way I would tell you to go at your mindset when looking at this war. So I hope that helps. We should do well again. I'm hoping. We've been getting increasingly better, y'all. So as promised, there's a bonus for watching it all the way through. I did find some December codes, so I will put that up here for you, and you can take a screenshot right there, and you will know all of those. I know some of them we've probably already done, like the EP McNulty and the subs for the YMZ31. Those are both from YouTube players. But anyway, the rest of those you might be able to utilize and get some goodies. So, hope you enjoyed. Bye.